Oh, the MLS All Star Game is something we do here in America. If you guys are new to this, we do it. And the roster has been released. And we gotta talk about it, man. So without further ado, let's get to it. Guys, look, I'm really amped to talk about this topic, but before we get started, as always, make sure you guys right now leave your thoughts and feelings down below on this topic, what you guys think and feel. And while you're down there, make sure you guys hit the like button and of course subscribe. Help your boy channel get passed around more so we can reach more people, most people as possible. That's the goal here. Help the beautiful game grow in America. So if you want to do that, be part of that change, subscribe down below. If you guys are unfamiliar of what the All-Star Game here in MLS is, or just what MLS is in general, first of all, you're in the right freaking place to check out MLS content, especially you new Messi fans out there, and your boy is one of them. MLS All-Star Game basically is a game we have yearly in this league where we pick the best, and I say best like this because it should be the best players in our league currently this current season, but most of them are voted in by fans or the All-Star Game coach, who is an MLS coach already currently during the season, gets to pick some players. And of course, I think Don Garber, the commissioner, the owner of MLS, gets to have a couple picks here and there of who he thinks or wants to have in this roster. It's a little conceited in my opinion, but that's just the way we do stuff. So with the gist of it, and also we play against like some European teams like Chelsea, Real Madrid, Arsenal, but there's ways that we can make it better, and that's a video for next week. So be sure you guys are subscribed for that because your boy's got a lot to say. So let's just talk about this thing already. Oh, you guys can see me? All right. So like I was explaining earlier, Wayne Rooney is a manager who is currently managing right now in MLS this season with, of course, DC United. And he has been selected as the coach, to manage this all-star team. How does that work, you're asking, in your European minds? I don't know. You get a couple days or weeks to work with these brand new guys who have never worked together at all or played together, and kind of find a way to make them work to play against a really good team like Arsenal. Even the reserve team is still a big challenge for our small MLS league right now. So that's Wayne Rooney, and he got to pick two goalkeepers. Tyler Miller, of course, from DC United, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me, Georgi Petrovic, and of course, Roman Berkey was voted in by the fans. And I think this vote by the fans is a great selection. I would myself would have picked Roman Berkey too. You know, he's got a big resume. He was spending 7 seasons with Dortmund in the Bundesliga. That's obviously nuts. It's nuts that St. Louis is able to get someone of his caliber to be part of their inaugural season. Like, St. Louis is not even like a big city compared to, like, I would say like Miami or LA or something like that. So small little big town in USA, I would say. Tyler Miller, that's kind of whack to me, I think, because DC has been having a mid-season average at best this year so far. I mean, Wayne Rooney being the manager is wild too, but you know, they got to get that star power in there somewhere to play against Arsenal. Georgi Petrovic I'm okay with, but I would have liked to see someone more, a goalkeeper more established, like Andre Blake, not to be biased with the Union, but it looks to me like Wayne Rooney does not give a crap about Union players because of the DC United / Philadelphia Union rivalry, I guess, but whatever, man. You do you, Wayne, you do you. Tyler Miller, again, I would like to see maybe like a younger player like Roman Celentano, who's second in clean sheets overall this season in MLS, right behind Stephen Fry. But yeah, Celentano would have been a really good selection here. It would have been great. So defenders, Walker Zimmerman, obviously voted in by fans, obviously freaking cucks. John Tolkien, good coach's pick. I'm sure the fans would have picked him as well. Your boy would have picked him as well. He's a good and young rising star for the USMNT and for MLS. Tim Parker was coach's pick from Wayne Rooney. It's just odd to me for St. Louis. I get it. St. Louis has been doing really good, especially earlier in the season, but damn, like there could be no, like there's Matt Miazga for voted in by fans. Like this is what I'm talking about. Like players like Matt Miazga, I get he's been doing, I mean, he's part of Cincinnati when Cincinnati right now is the top of the Eastern Conference, so I guess he's doing okay, but damn, I would have liked to see someone like Glesnes or just somebody from more Union players. I feel like a lot of Union players got snubbed. Ryan Hollinshed is in here. Like, I think he's overrated in my opinion. John Gallagher from Austin's okay. Alvaro Barral, like he used to be a winger, now he's a freaking defender. Like, okay, whatever works, man, whatever works. But Kai Wagner would have been good to see in here. I'm surprised Julian Gressel from, I think, Vancouver was not in here as well. I mean, he's kind of all over the pitch, but I see him more as like a right wing back. But I think he's been having a pretty solid season. I also just got called into, I think, the Gold Cup roster for the U17. We're getting off track. Midfield, of course, Ricky Pooch from LA Galaxy, the only Galaxy player on here, by the way, because they're sucking this year. Lucas Zelarayan, coach's pick, and I'm sure it would have been a fan pick as well. Easy, nothing to explain there. Hani Mukhtar, the MLS MVP as of recently, voted in by the fans, of course. He'll be in here. This guy is the real deal. He's a really good rising, I would say, household name here in MLS, in this country. Aiden Morris, obviously. Joseph Martinez, come on. Martinez is the only freaking Union player here, and honestly, he would be my least, but like he wouldn't be my first 2 or 3 options to be picked for an All-Star game. I would have went with like Andre Blake, Glesnes, Kai Wagner, a striker that I'm going to talk about in a little bit when we get up the pitch there. But Aiden Morris, I'm not really too upset about. I know he's like another young rising talent in the MLS pool and of course a U17 pool as well. That's why I think of like, why not Roman Celentano? Like, he's been having a really good season with Cincinnati. If you're gonna put someone like Matt Miazga from Cincinnati here, like, put your freaking goalkeeper who's the leading second goalkeeper in MLS in terms of saves. Like, I mean, the clean sheets. Like, he is helping you. I don't know, man. That makes no fucking sense. Hector Herrera. Oh my god. Houston sucks, bro. I'm sorry, Houston fans, but Houston is just always to me a team like Colorado. Like, it's just like cool, but like, damn, like what the hell's going on with you guys? And Hector Herrera, obviously, I think one of their biggest signings ever in franchise history, is selected. Obviously, a Mexican national team player. Your boy's thirsty. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know if I would have picked him, honestly. Maybe someone like Gazdag would have been better. You see my bias. Do you see my bias? Yes. You know what? Even Carlos Gil from New England Revolution. He's having a really great season. I think one of the top players in terms of key passes this year. Carlos Gil would have been really, really great, but I guess not. So let's go up now to, I guess it's still midfield. Thiago Almada, obviously. Come on, bro. This guy's a freaking World Cup winner. The only World Cup winner right now in MLS. This is the first commissioner pick that I've seen. Is Mateu Choinier. Oh, so I botched it. I'm sorry, but Mateu from Montreal. I guess he wanted to have a player from like a Canadian team, Don Garber, because I don't know much about him, but I can't really say much. But I'm just surprised. That's just a really unknown, like a really random pick that you would think. Luciano Acosta, I'm cool with. Obviously, a really good player right now for Cincinnati. Leading the league right now, Cincinnati. Now here we go to forwards, the section where everyone is excited about and kind of has their most controversy with. Voted in right now is Jordan Morris. In my opinion, I like Jordan Morris. Like, I've always been a fan of him. I've always said on this channel, I like Jordan Morris. I wish that move to Swansea worked out. I wish he never got that fucking dog. He could have been a European player to this day, probably. But Jordan Morris, I saw his first goal for the U17 against Mexico in a 2-0 win years ago with my mom. So it's like a really good memory for me. My mom to this day always asks, how's Morris doing? I'm like, he's doing great. No, but I can see why he's voted in here, because he's such a staple in MLS. He's an MLS player now. Like, you think of MLS, you think of Jordan Morris sometimes. Kai Kamara, he is a goal mercenary in MLS, playing for a bunch of teams and scoring a bunch of goals across his really, really crazy stats and games here in MLS. I think he's scoring 144 goals, just one behind Landon Donovan. Dude, that is freaking nuts. He is ranked 3rd in MLS with scoring goals. That's crazy. I did not know he scored that many goals, but Kai Kamara is a Don Garber's, the commissioner's pick. And I would say that's cool, man. If it's his last season, before he retires, this would be a good way for him to go out. Like, he just deserves the respect from all MLS fans, because he is, I would say, one of the MLS GOATs in terms of strikers. And I think it's really hard to argue with these fucking numbers. And then we got coach's pick from Giorgio Just call him Mr. Greek, my big fat Greek wedding, from Atlanta United. Doing okay. Really good player. Not much to say. Jesus Ferreira and Christian Espinoza. Oh, we'll get up there. Now, Jesus Ferreira, look, he's voted in. He wasn't picked by Wayne Rooney. Would he have been? I don't know. Would he have been picked by Don Garber? Probably. But the fans voted his ass in. And honestly, it's not a big surprise. He's a good striker in MLS. And I say in MLS because we've seen him on the big stage at the World Cup or in most games with the U17 where he's really not the strongest number 9. Like, he is not a number 9. Anybody who tries to tell me that Ferreira is a number 9 probably doesn't even know how the game works. And then that goes for FC Dallas's manager and the U17 coach as well, because this dude is not a number 9. He would thrive so well playing up against with someone up ahead of him, kind of like a Bobby Wood kind of like how Bobby Wood would play alongside Altidore, where Bobby Wood was like the more pacey, athletic striker to get the ball to Altidore. Altidore was a player who would hold up play, strong, good finishing ability, like good technical ability. I could see Jesus Ferreira right now, like in the Gold Cup, playing alongside Brendan Vasquez. That'd be such a good pairing, but you know what? It's not gonna work out. Whatever. Then it's Buenga, obviously a player that he's having a stellar season with LAFC. I think he's becoming more and more well known. Last season, I didn't really know much about him, but this season, he's been all over the MLS news, and especially when LAFC was like killing it. But this dude is really good. I like him. And of course, Christian Benteke, the coach's pick to round it out. Now, this is where I have an issue. Like, Benteke, Buenga's good, but Benteke, Espinoza, picked by Wayne Rooney, and of course Ferreira voted in. Like, what about Julian Carranza? Like, that's not even like me trying to be like, como se dice, like spiteful or like bias. It just makes sense. Julian Carranza scoring the same number of goals as Jesus Ferreira in MLS, plus Carranza has also scored outside of MLS, I think in the Open Cup or maybe the CONCACAF Champions League for the Union. And some of those goals came from off the bench. So if he's such an underrated player, I think if he continues to score more goals for the Union this season, that the league will eventually start to like him. He's Argentinian, so once Messi comes, maybe they'll start to like him a little bit more. I don't know, but Julian Carranza, I think one of the most underrated strikers, if not the most underrated strikers, and at least talked about strikers in MLS. And that's not me being biased. That's just me being like, dude, this guy's putting up numbers up there. Where's his respect? Before you guys head out, okay? Before you guys do your little thing, go shopping at Target, go to work, text and drive. Before you guys do all that, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'm gonna know if you watch this video towards the end to this part, because I'm going to ask you a certain question. I want to know, what is your favorite drink of choice when you go to a bar? For me, it's not Miller Lite. It's actually an hazy IPA that I can just be a snob about, because that is my favorite drink of choice, or a green tea shot. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.